Once upon a time, there was an old carpenter named Geppetto. He was very kind but lonely. One day, he decided to make a wooden puppet. He worked hard and created a boy-like figure. He named the puppet Pinocchio. Geppetto loved Pinocchio as if he were a real child. One night, Geppetto wished upon a star and said, "I wish Pinocchio were a real boy." While he slept, a blue fairy appeared. She waved her wand and brought Pinocchio to life, but he was still made of wood. The blue fairy told Pinocchio, "You can become a real boy, but only if you are brave, truthful, and unselfish." Pinocchio was happy and promised to be good. The next morning, Geppetto was shocked to see Pinocchio walking and talking. He was filled with joy and hugged him. Geppetto decided to send Pinocchio to school so he could learn and make friends. He sold his coat to buy Pinocchio a book. Pinocchio felt happy but also curious about the world outside. On his way to school, Pinocchio met two strange characters, a fox and a cat. They pretended to be his friends but had bad intentions. The fox said, "Why go to school when you can have fun? Come with us." Pinocchio hesitated but finally followed them. They took him to a puppet show. The puppet master was impressed by Pinocchio and offered to keep him as part of the show. Pinocchio enjoyed the attention, forgetting about school and Geppetto. After the show, Pinocchio missed home and wanted to leave. The puppet master gave him gold coins and let him go. On his way back, the fox and the cat tricked him again. They said, "Bury your coins in the magic field, and they will grow into a tree full of gold." Pinocchio believed them and buried his coins. When he returned later, the coins were gone. He realized they had tricked him and felt sad and foolish for trusting them. Pinocchio continued his journey home but got lost in the forest. Suddenly, the blue fairy appeared again. She asked, "Why didn't you go to school?" Pinocchio lied and said, "I did go to school." At that moment, his wooden nose grew longer. The fairy told him, "Every time you lie, your nose will grow." Pinocchio felt ashamed and promised to be truthful. The fairy forgave him and guided him back to the right path toward home. Pinocchio finally reached Geppetto's house, but Geppetto was not there. A bird told him that Geppetto had gone to sea, searching for him. Pinocchio felt guilty and decided to find Geppetto. He walked to the ocean and jumped into the water. As he swam, a huge whale swallowed him. Inside the whale's stomach, Pinocchio saw Geppetto. Geppetto was alive but weak. Pinocchio hugged him and said, "I'm so sorry for everything. I will save you." Pinocchio came up with a plan to escape. He gathered pieces of wood inside the whale and started a fire. The smoke made the whale sneeze, and they were both thrown out into the sea. Pinocchio and Geppetto floated on a wooden raft and reached the shore safely. Geppetto was proud of Pinocchio's bravery. Pinocchio, too, felt happy for helping Geppetto, but he knew he still needed to prove himself to become a real boy. After their escape, Pinocchio promised to always listen to Geppetto and do the right thing. He started going to school every day and worked hard. He helped Geppetto at home and stayed away from bad friends. One day, the blue fairy visited Pinocchio again. She said, "You have shown bravery, truth, and kindness. Now, you deserve a reward." She waved her wand, and Pinocchio's wooden body turned into a real human boy. Geppetto was overjoyed to see Pinocchio as a real boy. Pinocchio hugged him and said, "Thank you for always believing in me." They lived happily together, helping each other and sharing their love. Pinocchio learned that being honest, brave, and kind makes life beautiful. From that day on, he remained a good boy, never forgetting the lessons he learned during his journey. Geppetto and Pinocchio's home was now full of happiness and laughter. Pinocchio and Geppetto started a new chapter in their lives. Pinocchio loved being a real boy. He enjoyed playing with other children, but he never forgot to help Geppetto. Geppetto taught him how to work with wood, and Pinocchio made small toys for the children in the village. The villagers admired Pinocchio for his kind heart. He felt proud of himself, knowing that he had earned the chance to be a real boy by making the right choices. One day, Pinocchio met the fox and the cat again. They tried to trick him once more. "Pinocchio, come with us. We know a place where you can have fun and never work," they said. Pinocchio remembered their lies from before. He smiled and replied, "No, thank you. I've learned my lesson." He walked away, leaving them surprised. Pinocchio felt strong for saying no to bad influences, and he realized how much he had grown as a person. The blue fairy watched Pinocchio from afar. She was proud of his progress. She appeared to him in a dream one night and said, "Pinocchio, you have become a wonderful boy. Remember, life will always have challenges, but you must stay true to yourself. Honesty, bravery, and kindness will guide you." Pinocchio woke up feeling inspired. He wanted to continue making Geppetto proud and be a role model for others. Pinocchio also learned the value of hard work. Every day, he helped Geppetto in the workshop. They made beautiful wooden furniture and toys. People from nearby villages came to buy their creations. Pinocchio loved working with Geppetto, and they became a great team. Geppetto often said, "Pinocchio, you are not just my son. You are my greatest gift." These words made Pinocchio feel happy and loved, and he worked even harder to make Geppetto proud. One afternoon, Pinocchio saw a boy crying near the forest. The boy had lost his way. Pinocchio offered to help. "Don't worry," he said. "I will take you back to your village." He walked with the boy until they reached the right path. The boy thanked him and said, "You are a true friend." Pinocchio felt proud of himself. He realized that helping others made him happy. He returned home and told Geppetto about his adventure. One day, the king of the land announced a special celebration. He invited all the children to the royal palace for a grand feast. Pinocchio was excited to go. At the palace, he met many children and shared his story. They listened carefully and were amazed by his journey. Pinocchio told them, "Always be kind and truthful. It will lead you to happiness." The king heard about Pinocchio and praised him for his wisdom and courage. The blue fairy visited Geppetto one last time. She thanked him for being a loving father to Pinocchio. "You gave Pinocchio the love and support he needed to grow into a good boy," she said. Geppetto replied, "He has taught me just as much as I have taught him." The fairy blessed their home with happiness and health. Geppetto and Pinocchio felt grateful for their magical journey and the lessons they had learned together. Pinocchio and Geppetto decided to help others in their village. They used their skills to repair broken toys for poor children. They also made wooden chairs and tables for families in need. The villagers admired their kindness and often came to them for help. Pinocchio felt happy knowing that he could make a difference in others' lives. Geppetto often said, "We are rich in love and kindness, and that is all we need." As time passed, Pinocchio grew into a strong and confident young boy. He loved exploring the world around him and learning new things. He also taught the other children the lessons he had learned, to be honest, brave, and kind. The children looked up to him and wanted to follow his example. Pinocchio became a symbol of hope and goodness in the village, and he felt proud to be a part of such a loving community. One day, Pinocchio found his old wooden nose in Geppetto's workshop. He held it and remembered all the mistakes he had made. "This nose reminds me of how far I have come," he said. Geppetto smiled and replied, "It is a part of your story, and your story is what makes you special." Pinocchio felt thankful for everything he had experienced, even the hard times, because they had taught him to be a better person. Pinocchio and Geppetto lived happily ever after in their small, cozy home. They continued to help others and spread kindness wherever they went. Pinocchio never forgot the blue fairy's words and always tried to be his best self. He was proud of the boy he had become and grateful for the love of Geppetto. Their story became a legend, teaching everyone that honesty, bravery, and kindness can turn dreams into reality.